Hello, huge movie fanatic Nate, once again reporting from the woods on a beautiful July day in 2017, coming at you this time to review the trailer, or I think it's the first trailer for the upcoming Texas Chainsaw Massacre prequel by the name of Leatherface. I was completely unaware that this trailer was out, and then a viewer of mine left a comment on my review for Jigsaw that the trailer for Leatherface, or a trailer for Leatherface, 2017 was out, and I'm like, oh, I didn't even know that. So I went over and checked it out, and this is my review for it. So I'm a relatively big fan of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise. I mean, obviously over the years it's had some ups and downs, and I don't know, pretty much, I guess, maybe more or less mostly downs, and whatever. Those two Michael Bay Platinum Dunes ones in the early 21st century were, I mean, I don't know, not horrible. I guess was kind of some of the best Chainsaw stuff, maybe, after the original, of course, which in my opinion is the best. And I didn't hate, I kind of liked Texas Chainsaw 3D, and I was kind of excited. Obviously they kind of left that, I was kind of excited for a follow-up to that, to be honest, and they left it open, obviously, for the D'Addario character to, I don't know what, be a part of the Chainsaw family or whatever. Definitely probably one of the better looking Chainsaw. I don't know if they're called Sawyers in that Texas Chainsaw 3D, I can't remember, but she would have been probably the most attractive of the crazy Chainsaw family. I thought it was kind of an interesting in that movie, kind of a fine line between, good and bad, and it was in that movie, and kind of, a lot of people didn't like it, but I kind of thought it was an interesting twist to make Leatherface kind of a victim of the, the police or whatever and stuff like that. I liked, for the most part, Texas Chainsaw 3D, and was kind of anticipating, in a small way, the follow-up to that. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to get that. Now they're just, Lionsgate is, they did Texas Chainsaw 3D, now they're just going to do another Leatherface movie, which is unlike Texas Chainsaw 3D, which was a sequel to the original film from 1974. This one looks like it's going to be a prequel to the original film. And the trailer, I don't know, it seemed like it was kind of, we'll just say underwhelming is the word that I guess first pops into my mind regarding the trailer. I like the tune, kind of like with the Jigsaw trailer. I like the musical tune that goes with the trailer. This first trailer of Leatherface, it I think kind of makes the mood, this kind of somber mood of the trailer work. I like the fact that it's a prequel to the original, and presumably going to take place in the 60s. There's a shot of an old car. Was it a cop car? I can't remember, but this old car, like 50s, 60s old car, rolling over and doing this, kind of crashing or whatever, kind of epic shot. Like I say, I like the fact that it's going to take place presumably in the 60s or maybe even the 50s. I don't know. That way we won't have to watch a bunch of characters, constantly on their cell phones, which is something I just can't stand in movies that, take place now or whatever. The use of, cellular phones just in life is just ridiculous, and then to have to watch it in movies is just like, God damn it. But that's a side note. But at the end of the day, I guess underwhelming is the word for my opinion about this trailer. I guess it's said that the guys, or the guy who, the director or the people involved in making this movie, have done some really great movie in the past, or maybe their last movie was something really great. So I mean, I'm gonna leave my, I'll probably see it. I might venture out into the theater to see it if it actually ends up materializing in the theater come October. I mean, I'm gonna leave my judgments, reserve judgment until I actually see it. I guess there's a shot, of course, a familiar shot of Leatherface chasing a girl through the woods, and yes, I like that kind of formula, and do I mind seeing it again and again and again? Not really. I mean, if something works, I mean, in my opinion, you kind of stick to it, and kind of what the Tobe Hooper Chainsaw sequel kind of did the opposite of that. But I mean, I can respect both. Completely changing something to try something different, or sticking with what works. I mean, I can see the reason for doing both. I guess if I had to pick one as a movie, viewer, I'd be more apt to want to see something, the kind of the thing that worked in the past, So I don't mind seeing the same imagery of Leatherface chasing a girl through the woods at night, and because, as you know, I love the woods and stuff. So, I mean, I don't know. It's probably I can't remember how I felt about the Texas Chainsaw 3D trailer at the time. It's probably, this trailer for Leatherface 2017 is probably a little more underwhelming than that one was for me at the time. So again, I'm going to hold off on the judgment, and obviously until I get a chance to see it. It looks like it could be, particularly nasty, and looks like a family goes into a diner and just blows people away or whatever, and that kind of just nasty stuff, me getting on in years and stuff, I don't really enjoy necessarily and stuff. But what about the Leatherface mask in general? Is kind of, I don't know, it's different. Obviously it looks like, is it a woman's face that he kind of sewed up and is putting on or whatever, and who knows. Underwhelming is the word that keeps coming back into my mind regarding this trailer. Again, in closing, the musical tune that permeates the trailer, the majority of it, is kind of cool and leaves a nice kind of somber, or makes a nice kind of somber feel to the trailer and stuff. Time will tell, just like with the Jigsaw movie, I'd probably be more apt to venture out into the theater to see this movie than that. So there's probably a good chance that I'll see this movie in the theater. And obviously if that happens, I'll be by in October to do a review of it. But yeah, not a whole hell of a lot to say about trailer, what I presume to be the first trailer of Leatherface 2017. Obviously the third Chainsaw movie had that same title, Leatherface, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3. I quite liked that movie. I saw that back in the theater. I think that came out in January 1990. I saw that in the theater at the time, and I thought that was, me and Matt have reviewed all the Chainsaw movies, so I thought Leatherface was a definite improvement over the first sequel, by, again, going back to the roots and kind of what worked, and having them just be a crazy family in the woods or whatever. But yeah, feel free to let me know what you think of the trailer, Leatherface 2017, and what you like or don't like about it. That's pretty much all I can really think of I have to say about it. I guess at the end of the day, the biggest thing I kind of like about the movie is, again, taking place presumably in the 50s or 60s or 50s or something like that. So I kind of like when movies, that have franchises that started back in the day in the early 70s, as this franchise did, to actually, when you make movies surrounding, more movies in the franchise, I like it when those movies can take place around that same time that the original movie came out, or even in this case before. Because I get sick of movies just always kind of taking place in modern times, and it's just like, and it just makes it a little more kind of cool and retro to do a movie that takes place, back in the old days. That way you get old cars, and you gotta do old production design and costumes and stuff. So that's, kind of fun for me. But I'm kind of rambling at this point. So I guess that's what I feel about the chainsaw, or the trailer. The chainsaw for the movie Leatherface, the trailer, you know what I'm saying, the trailer for the movie, upcoming movie Leatherface 2017. Thank you very much for watching this trailer review, and as always, we'll catch you next time.